Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. So, today we're tackling a topic that is deeply human, incredibly sensitive, but honestly, it can also be practically really challenging. We're talking about how to offer comfort when someone you care about, specifically someone living over in the Netherlands, loses a loved one, and you're stuck miles or maybe even oceans away. It's one of those tough moments where you desperately want to show your support, but the sheer distance just makes you feel, well, entirely helpless. But don't worry. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can navigate this thoughtfully, culturally respectfully, and most importantly, efficiently. You know, there's a quote that perfectly captures the heart of our source material today. Grief has no borders and neither should compassion. When you literally can't be there in person to offer a hug or just drop off a warm meal, finding the right words to say is incredibly difficult. And that is exactly where a thoughtfully chosen gift basket steps in. It says what words simply can't. It essentially bridges that huge physical distance. It acts as this tangible, physical reminder just sitting right there on their kitchen counter, letting them know that they are absolutely not going through this dark time alone.
Okay, moving right into Section 1, Understanding Dutch Sympathy Traditions.
Now here is something really interesting and super important for you to know. The timeline in the Netherlands moves fast. I mean, very fast. Funerals or cremations typically happen within a narrow window of just 5 to 7 days after the passing. So why does this matter for you? Well, it means acting quickly is a huge help. You don't have weeks to sit around deliberating over what to do. Friends and relatives usually send their condolences, their flowers, or sympathy gifts right during those middle days, just as the arrangements are being made. That's especially true if they can't attend the service in person.
As we look at this, there's a core cultural value you absolutely need to keep in mind, and that is modesty. In Dutch culture, people deeply appreciate gifts that feel honest, simple, and just straight from the heart. Actually, cremation is very common in the Netherlands, and families strongly prefer a quiet, sincere presence over these lavish, expensive displays. A kind word or a small, really practical token of support, that goes so much further than something that feels flashy or extravagant. Remember, your goal here is to bring them comfort, not to overwhelm them.
All right, let's dive into Section 2, Choosing the Right Gift.
So, the ideal approach here is all about being honest and simple. Picture this, a nice, modest basket holding a few calming items. We're talking about maybe some soothing tea with a little honey, a pack of really soft biscuits, or some fine non-alcoholic Belgian chocolates. Just gentle, comforting foods. Now contrast that with the major mistakes you definitely want to avoid. You really don't want to send something loud, overdone, or excessively flashy. You're aiming for quiet touches that simply say, hey, I'm thinking of you. You definitely want to avoid anything that demands attention or just feels totally out of place during such a somber time. But of course, the crucial point is tailoring that simple gesture to the actual recipient. A small tea and chocolate basket? That is absolutely perfect if you're sending your condolences to just one person. But if you're trying to support an entire grieving family, well, a slightly larger hamper filled with non-perishable comforting foods is going to be way more appropriate. Oh, and notice the mention of pet loss here. It's maybe a bit less formalized in the Netherlands, but sending a neutral, beautifully packaged gourmet set is a highly respectful way to honor that unique bond. Plus, prioritizing eco-friendly packaging, that aligns wonderfully with the everyday Dutch values of sustainability.
Up next is Section 3, Crafting the Perfect Message.
Listen, the absolute golden rule here is so simple. Keep your message short, keep it respectful, and always sign your name. You really don't need to write a long, elaborate, dramatic speech. In fact, a plain card with a really brief, sincere note straight from the heart, that says more than enough. Just remember that Dutch preference for simplicity we talked about. It applies to your words just as much as it applies to your gift.
Now, if you want to add a truly thoughtful, culturally respectful touch, consider slipping in one of these Dutch phrases. Gecondoleerd simply means condolences, and sterkte translates to strength. It's often used to wish someone the strength they're going to need to get through a really difficult time. Honestly, just adding one of these single words into your otherwise English note shows an incredible amount of care and respect for their home culture. It's a small detail, but it's a real game changer.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Sending with Walwater Gifts.
Because we're dealing with that super tight 5 to 7 day funeral timeline we covered, having fast, secure, and tracked delivery is absolutely paramount for your own peace of mind. Walwater actually hand-assembles every single basket, which ensures a pristine presentation for such a sensitive occasion. They include that custom condolence note we just talked about, and they handle all the tricky customs and delivery logistics. It doesn't matter if your recipient is right in the heart of Amsterdam or out in a tiny remote village.
Plus, they offer transparent pricing in both euros and US dollars, which totally saves you from those annoying currency conversion headaches.
If we look at their specific collections, you can really see how intentionally these are designed for grief, right? These aren't just generic holiday baskets that they repurpose for sympathy. Options like the Ya Habibi platter offer balanced, really comforting treats. Then there's Still in Our Memories, which provides premium but very quiet touches. Or, say you're sending something to a colleague in a Dutch office, the Sorry for Your Loss option strikes this perfect, professional, yet empathetic tone. Every single one of these is curated to align beautifully with that Dutch value of modest, sincere support.
And honestly, the reason we can so confidently explore their framework today is all summarized in this one number: 10. Walwater Gifts has over a decade of experience navigating the really specific logistics of delivering across Europe. That 10 whole years means they understand the customs, they know the courier routes, and most importantly, they truly understand the delicate, time-sensitive nature of these deeply personal occasions. Ultimately, when a loved one in the Netherlands is hurting, distance shouldn't prevent you from offering a hand of comfort. If you're looking for a thoughtful way to express your condolences, you'll find the link down in the description to explore Walwater's collection of Sympathy gift baskets. If you found this explainer helpful in sort of demystifying this sensitive process, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a little guidance right now. I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. If the grief of losing someone knows absolutely no borders, why should our ability to comfort one another? Thanks so much for watching, and take care.